What is going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Chappie's Crypto, Eduardo Sanchez, Dyer, Patrick, Bill, T-Lev, Premier, Chum, Big Blaze, Crypto Chemist, Serendipity, Eric Smith, Ski Boy, back bro, what's up? Caesar, Burnett, Andy, Charles, Stack, Carl, Andy's, Otto, Alex, Bearish Bull, Z, Sile Bane. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Prod Q, yo. How's everybody doing this morning? I don't think we're gonna get 3 a.m. in here today. I think he's taking a snooze. I think he stayed up late last night, so. Jingles, what's up, man? We do have C-130 in the house, though.
What is good? Hope y'all brought that pen and paper. It hits differently than keyboard.
Long and short, midnight. What's going on? So, you know, it looks like, and then also from reading the Discord, that a lot of people got chopped up last night, right? And you can see we're kind of in this, you know, once we finally broke our balance zone. Whoa. I don't know why it always does that. Once we kind of broke this balance zone, we broke down and we just kind of hit this nice little range. We had a little fake breakdown, a little fake break up back into the balance zone, back down to the low. Couldn't break the high, back into the range. And then, you know, we're kind of doing the same thing right here. So let's talk about how to avoid this, right? What are we know until we graduate the bootcamp? What are we known as until we graduate the bootcamp? What are we known as? I don't know. That's a question for 3 a.m. He's in charge of that stuff. Just know that after, you're gonna be a solid risk manager.
I mean, they're the pioneers, man.
The pioneers,
the beginners. No, that's what I always say, man. Anyone that's willing to learn this, it's definitely stepping out of their comfort zone, especially in crypto. You know, when you go into crypto, they're not taught this. You know, I mean, I went into crypto first. You told me to, you know, do stock market first, but I did crypto first, and I didn't really know what the hell I was doing in the beginning. You know, but I did notice that most of the education that I got was from the traditional side of YouTube. You know.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, everything that is being taught here is pretty unique. So, you know, I'll just say pioneers. I don't know. I mean, the beginning, because this is honestly going to be a good thing. Yeah, no, it's going to be a great thing for crypto. I'm excited, man.
Tulio, Progressive, Mr. Tommy, Alex. Morning, guys.
If you think of it, it is kind of like a gold rush in a way, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. You know? Yeah, it definitely can be. Tulio's going to be on a show today on YouTube, I think. So if you want to post that link in the YouTube, Tulio, you can go for that. What are the ones who escaped the Matrix called?
Oh, I would definitely not know that. You can look it up though.
Yeah, you're like my Jamie on the Joe Rogan podcast. Jamie, look that shit up.
Oh yeah, the dude in the background.
Yeah, he's always looking shit up.
They have that monitor, and you see
the Children of Zion. That's right, Eric. Yeah, we can be called the Children of Zion. That's dope.
Nice.
I think that might be copyrighted. Who knows?
Game.
So this is pretty much this is how I look at the chart, right? So let's say that we are at this point here, right before Asia session. You know, we had the London session, which brought us down, right? And then this is, you know, yesterday, obviously, and we're where we're putting in value, right? We have two value area highs right in a row, right? And basically all of our value area lows are lining up, right? Yo, it did it again. And we see, oh, this stupid ass thing. Okay, so we see how these value area highs and these value area lows are basically lining up, right? Okay, just gonna see that. That's what's something to pay attention to, right? Because that's where we're putting in the value. Yeah, we had this little peak below, but the value area didn't move at all. So we're still putting 70% inside this area. So what we want to pay attention to is anything that's going to come up above this area and down below this area, right? So if we keep drawing as the time keeps going, right? So we see on the Asia Open, we get a breakout, right? That was a good trade. But where did we go to? We tapped into these singles a little bit. And then what did I tell you guys about this? This would have been a great trade to short back into the range, right? So we came up, we didn't fill singles. You put your short on, put your stop right above where the singles will fill, and trade back into the range. You want to take some profit. This one actually came all the way back down to the bottom, and look, we got this value area high pushing down, value area low pushing down. So there's a lot of volume on this downside. And then as we moved over, we started to put in a lower structure, right? So we had this upper structure here, and now we're putting in a little bit lower of a structure here. And that's why I kind of liked this this trade this morning. So I got in right here at 33K, looking for a break of this VWAP. I was able to take a little bit of profit at I, take a little bit of profit at E. We didn't, you know, my target is C. I still have the runner on, but if we get back underneath of the VWAP, I'm gonna probably have to cut this. Nope, not copyright. It's an old book. Nice. I'm a Canadian pioneer lumberjack. Did y'all see yeah, they are making another Matrix movie, Matrix number 4. I'm pumped. It's gonna be, I think it was being filmed in Hawaii or something. James was saying like Keanu Reeves was like down the street from his house, so pretty cool. But so let's talk about, how to avoid this, right? Things to do and ways to, if you get in the trade, to cut them so that way you're not turning them into a loss and then you're just looking at, possibly eating some fees. You took the short at the top of A, set your stop loss into profit too early and didn't catch the whole move. That happened to me yesterday as well, right here. I was kind of pissed about it. I took 100% profits at this mark here, and I didn't have a runner, so I wasn't able to get any of this downside yesterday, which was fairly annoying for me. But those are that's called a user error, and that happens. And so when something like that happens, right? And it actually happened to James yesterday. He actually clicked the sell button instead of the buy button. If you do that, or if you accidentally do something like that, make sure that you just get out of the trade right away, right? Make sure that you're not just sitting there trying to like let it work, right? If you make an accident, obviously you didn't mean to do it, so don't just think that it's going to be some mistake that's going to go in your way. Just get out of that trade right away. Just eat those fees, realize that you did something wrong, because what happens a lot of times, right? Let's say someone was looking to go long right here and they accidentally went short. Well, it goes a couple ticks in their favor and they're like, okay, I'm going to stay in this trade, and then it's going to reverse and they're like, it's going to come back, right? And then it goes here and then it comes up, and then they're like, it's going to come back, and then they end up staying in this trade until the trade's definitely invalidated once it starts breaking these tops, right? Even if it just breaks this top, it's definitely an invalidated short trade. So what's happening is you're just trying to turn an accident into a win, right? So you don't really have a trade plan, and like I always tell you guys, you need to have a trade plan. Morning, Janelle. Could you also talk about your thought process for entering the long at 33K, because the short has equal series of stop runs? Oh yeah, I definitely can. One second, guys.
Guys, if you are interested in that boot camp, check the description. It has the website in it. It has everything. It has all the available seats. I would definitely look into at least making time for this because it's going to be insane.
Yeah, so with the bootcamp, guys, I saw a lot of questions about you know, if you need prior experience or if you need to do some studying before. The answer is no, right? The answer is just show up with an, you know, an open mind, show up with you know, a notebook, show up ready to take some notes and ready to try to absorb some knowledge. You're not going to be able to just soak everything in on the first go, right? We're going to upload the videos and you're going to be able to, you know, rewatch them at your own pace. And then we're going to answer questions. The videos we are going to have to keep on a schedule, right? Because as we go forward, you know, I do have a little bit more free time with the kids being out of school, but also, you know, I got to, you know, attend to the kids as well. So it's a little bit different. Once they're back in school, you know, it'll be a little bit different, but we're going to try to keep the classes to about 2 hours a day, right? So about an hour and a half of instruction and then about 30 minutes for questioning. James will be on there, right? So, you know, he can just talk forever. So we may, you know, may go a little bit over the 2 hours, but, you know, we are going to try to keep it to 2 hours a day. And the reason being is because after about an hour and a half, you're not really learning anything, right? You're not really able to retain anything. You're getting that like kind of mental overload where, you know, you're just kind of overwhelmed, or kind of to the point where you're hearing the information but you're not really soaking it in. And so that's why I want to keep these classes, you know, about an hour at a time. You know, and then it also helps me, you know, kind of refresh my brain as far as, you know, getting back to what we want to do as far as the next day, right? And then that way I'm not getting off topic and I'm not just trying to overload you guys, and that way I can make sure that all of you guys are comprehending everything, understanding, and, you know, getting to that point. Here we go. Let's get this stop run. Let's see if we can take that D high. So close. But yeah, so wake up early, grab a coffee, a bang. Yeah, I got a bang today. Went to Winco yesterday, got a whole case. So I'm ready for next week. You know, ready to kill it, ready to help you guys kill it, ready to get all of you guys on this TPO train. And so I think it was someone asked, Gustavo, hola, what's up, man? But what is fate? Nice, there it is. Let's hit it. Damn, she just busted through that stop sign, right? And so this is just a pure structured play right here, right? So I you know, had taken profit, like I said at the top of I, put my stop, you know, into profit below the VWAP. We came down, buyers defended the VWAP, and, you know, now we're running some stops to the upside. I'd like to see us get over this 33.6, and it, you know, kind of looks like she wants it. Seeing some responsive selling off the top. So here I'll walk you guys through my trade entry. right? And the reason I liked that 33K entry is because we have this value area high, value area low, right? We had all this downside pressure from the Asian session. The London session opened up and immediately tore all the stops from the Asia session, right? Which means they have control of the position. So they take some profit, and as we come down, we have this low and we don't break it, right? So now I'm thinking the next move is probably going to be to the upside because we can't take the low of the previous session, right? We couldn't take these lows out. And so as we get up, we see a nice little pop, right? We come back down, so we got a little breath, right? Like I always talk about, think about this VWAP as your scorecard. And if we are below the VWAP, that means sellers are in control. If we are above the VWAP, that means the buyers are in control. And so when I saw this little pop up above the VWAP, it tells me that buyers are at least giving us a go, right? They're trying to, get some air, right? And then as we come down, we run the stops of the I and the H, but they don't even try to run the stops of the G. The next bar, and then look at the responsive buying, right? Next bar opens up, pushes down, can't even take the bottom of J, and that's where I decided, okay, well, it looks like we're going to try to pop above the VWAP at least again, right? And I'm going to target this I high. So decided to take a long right here, and you see, you have some pretty heavy buying going on at this spot. We got above the point of control. We were able to run those stops of I, took a little bit of profit, took my second profit at E, right? So these are small profits, right? This is 260 points, 380 points, right? Not huge targets, but it was just more of a risky trade, so I wanted to make sure I'm at least covering my costs and at least making a couple of bucks on the trade, in case it comes back down, right? The next bar opened up. You can't really see it very well. Let me get rid of this delta. So we see the next bar open up. It comes down, right? But buyers, you see the responsive buying off the POC. It comes up. It holds above the VWAP, right? Which is key. That lets you know that the buyers are winning. This bar opens up, trades down. Buyers respond right at the VWAP, and then now we get this nice little push up. So that was kind of my thought process behind this trade. Do you trade any patterns? The pattern you just drew was a W. No, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I mean, because you can draw. I mean, I could draw a W, anywhere, right? And I mean, I could draw them. An M right there. The thing about these patterns is that people get so focused on the pattern is that they're not paying attention to the price structure. So maybe if the patterns were more clean, I guess, like maybe if they were more clean cut, kind of like market structures for the most part. But these patterns, like harmonic patterns and bull flags and bear flags and fucking rainbows, unicorns, and balloons and shit, like it's just not consistent, right? I do like to draw things like kind of like consolidation, or like when you see constriction happening. So earlier when we were down here, we saw that price was getting a little bit constricted, right? And if you took here, we saw that price was getting a little bit constricted, and basically it kind of popped up above, back tested, and went, right? So I guess you could draw like a W there, right? I mean, you could just draw these patterns everywhere. I just like to see these constriction. That's why a lot of people like use Bollinger Bands. Most of the professionals that use Bollinger Bands, so the Bollinger Bands look like this, right? and then they have a line in the middle. Most people think that they just trade from here to here. In reality, these professional traders are looking for this, right? They're looking for the Bollinger Bands to tighten up, and there's that line in between. They're looking for this section where these Bollinger Bands are tightening up, and then they take a peek at their TPO, check out the market structure, and look where we're going. We're not breaking lows. We're not breaking lows. We're not breaking lows. We must be getting ready to break up, right? And that's how these Bollinger Bands are used. The big thing is, people are not using a lot of the tools that they have correctly. They're just watching a YouTube video from somebody who hasn't really done the research to do it. They're like, oh, you just trade from the inside band of the Bollinger Band, or the trade off the VWAP to the first standard deviation, and that always works, right? And I'll tell you guys straight up, I've tried to design algorithms that trade exactly that. You guys know James is a big is a big VWAP standard deviation band person. We've tried to design algos based off of pure just VWAP to standard deviation 1 on both sides, and it just doesn't work, right? You said it's interesting because on Bybit we are below the VWAP.
Yeah, you're on the Binance futures one, so I mean, they are going to be different. No, I know. I'm just letting whoever asked
it shouldn't. Yeah, so Bybit, here's Bybit right here. We're above the VWAP. Press refresh on your chart. Rainbows and unicorns. Yeah, I guess it depends on your trading style. Bollinger Band is a pop group. Yeah, Jumbo, I mean, it's not I'm not saying that you can't be successful with some of the patterns, right? It's just that it's not just the pattern, right? It's not just the pattern. Yeah, it looks like we're above on all of these. I'm not sure. Maybe you just need to refresh exo charts to see where the VWAP's at. Even on the 24-hour session, we're above the VWAP. The VWAP's at like 31. Does GoChart do that shit? I haven't watched GoCharts too much. GoCharts is showing it below the VWAP, but I'm not sure. I'm not really paying attention to GoCharts. Not yet. It's understanding the market structure. Yeah, exactly. Would you consider a new long entry at 33.6? Yeah, if we get that steam, you could try it. The only thing is that we have this this liquidation zone, and this is where sellers are going to they're going to defend this area. And so if we're able to pop here, right, you try to target this A high, and then just understand that if we don't fill these singles, then there's just not enough buying in the market. Do you ever use strong trend lines? Not really. I use support levels. So if we go back to my trading view chart, you can see some of my support levels that I have. These are support levels that I've drawn. Like this level I drew yesterday when we were on the way down. You see it kind of tested here. Not testing it like to the tick all the time, but it is you get the bottom of these candles that close right on it, and then it kind of tests it and then get a little pop up. So that next level up for me is going to be that 33.867 level to see if we're gonna break it. We did break it here, but then quickly flush back down. So cracked your first energy drink and here, let's bang up that like button. Yeah, let's bang that like button, guys. We've got 77 people watching, 31 likes. Let's bang it. I do like like I said though, I like looking at stuff like this sometimes. Like if you draw like this trend, as long as you can touch it with like 2 or 3 pieces, then it's it's an actual consistent line. So like something like that, right? Like for like a bigger consolidation pattern, because we're pretty much just, we broke down, and then we had a little bit of a range, and now we're kind of tightening up here. So I'd like to see us break this. I'd like to see us test this level here. If we can fill these singles and get back into this range, that would be nice. I'd also don't mind if we break the low, right? Like I said, I really have no attachment to any of the coins really, where they go, what they do, as long as they just give me trading opportunity setups. That's kind of really what I'm after. Wicks, yeah, and I never draw a line through the body. I see a lot of people do that though, right? That's just wrong. You never want to cut through price action when you're doing that. You can cut through wicks, right? Because price is not really there, but you never want to cut through actual solid price action, because these bars, that's where they're showing you that the little bit of value was actually put in. So you never want to cut through that. Crypto chemist is savage. Do you have separate charts for different structure lines on different time frames, or do you apply on all time frames? I only use a 30-minute chart. Sometimes I use a daily chart, right, when I'm looking for like a bigger trend, or like some like daily support levels, I guess. But I'm not really trading. I'm just trading intraday. I'm not really a swing trader unless it's with options or something like that. But Fraser, as far as like using like 30 time frames, you can change the time frame as much as you want and kind of find what you're looking for, but that's the big thing. Is so like what happens is people will be on a 24-minute time frame, let's say, right, and they're like, okay, this is going up, and then they jump in on a 5-minute time frame and they're like, oh, okay, we're really going up. But if you place a trade on a certain chart, that's the chart that you have to expect. So if you're over here looking at a 4-hour chart and you're placing a trade based off of us in this uptrend, you need to be able to kind of withstand the heat, so to speak, right? If you're going to get into a trade, let's say you're going to go long right here, but the 4-hour is here, you need to be able to withstand at least the bottom of this candle's heat. So if this trade starts to go against you, and then it rallies, if you can't withstand this downside at all, well, then this shouldn't be the chart that you're looking at, right? And so for me, I like to just stick with the 30-minute chart, because I like to intraday trade, especially with crypto. I don't really like to hold anything overnight. I'd rather just set an alarm, wake up, and then trade it. Elbow cough, elbow cough.
Gotta hit them stop runs.
Stop run. Oh yeah, we Granolas, thanks for the sub, man. Looks like you're new in the chat. Go ahead, introduce yourself, man. Say what's up. Everyone in the community is really friendly. Join the Discord. I see that the old one dislike woke up to dislike us, so that's
Classic.
good. Can you please check out ETH? I think there's long shipping up. Yeah. Yeah, ETH filled its singles yesterday. Well, almost filled its singles, like barely to the tick. And so yeah, it does look like the ETH is setting up for a nice. ETH got hammered off the open, but then reversed. And so what we're looking at, this upper structure here, if we can pop these singles, we might just get a straight run into here. So now that we're above the point of control, we're above the VWAP, this would be more of a breakout trade. And when you guys do a breakout trade, right, one thing you have to understand is that it should work right away, right? Sometimes you market into these breakout trades. So if you're going to market in, you're going to be paying these fees, right? You're long on ETH 256. Nice. Oh, nice. So yeah, you basically it's almost that same trade that I took on Bitcoin. I should have done both. I've been trying to practice that, taking both. It's just a lot to manage. It becomes kind of a pain in the ass. You hit your first take profit. Nice. Right here, somewhere. But so when you're, if you're going for a breakout trade, like let's say that you decide to get long this value area high, right? It should run the stops of M and the stops of C, quickly, right? Or you should cut the trade. Eric Diggers, what's up, man? You should, if you're going to take a trade like that to get a breakout and it doesn't break out, well, don't sit in the trade and let it come back down below your entry. Just cut the trade, right? If you get in and it just kind of sits here, don't just wait forever for it to just come on up, right? And then you got this, this NBA signature here. There's a basketball.
Oh, what the heck?
Right? Don't wait for something like that. Just oh, you're on BUSD. Nice. Don't wait to kind of like guess if the trade is going to go, right? Just cut it quick, right? So like right here, let's say if we break this top of B, we should break the top of M and at least get to the top of C right away, right? And then you should be looking for it to hold the top of B, because there's people short right here, right? That's for sure. And so let's say you get long value area high, it should break M right away. That's what I would be looking for. Nice, Janelle. Nice. Oh, you got in way down there. Oops. Yeah, that's really good. I need to start watching ETH more. ETH was so ugly yesterday, though. ETH was worse than Bitcoin. Look how ugly this is. Right? The only thing that was nice on ETH was that breakdown. But other than that, it was just... it kind of looked like Bitcoin. That's what kind of made me angry. It's like as soon as I start watching it, all of a sudden it starts looking like Bitcoin.
That's how ETH is rough. It's going through it.
Yeah, Andy's, that's key. And
Stop filled.
And a lot of the times, oh, that was my oil trade. I was like, what the fuck was that? A lot of the times, what happens is people will basically just have been kind of like brainwashed almost to buy the dip, right? Or to just hold it and it will come back, right? So they let's say they take a long trade because we didn't break this low, we're gonna bounce, it drops, and they're like, oh, it's gonna bounce, and then it comes right here almost back to their entry, so they keep holding instead of cutting their loss for small loss. It drops back down, now it's coming back up, and then what happens is this will come back up and they'll be like, ha, see, I was right. But this is not good risk management, and this is not the sign of a good trader. It's just lucky, right? That's all it is. That's really it. Yeah, Bitcoin moves too fast. Yeah, you only need 20 to 40 points to move to make more Yeah, the percentage gains on ETH are definitely better for sure. Yeah, plus all the time wasted, right? Chirp is like, your money's tied up that whole time, depending upon your account size, and so now you can't really, do anything. So you're kind of just, in a stuck situation. Finally started a training journal. Good stuff. I like bottoms to hold them tight. we should be approaching the holiday weekend with caution. Yeah, definitely. So because the 4th is coming up, right? I don't know if you guys are celebrating it over there, Andes, but just a joke. There's going to be a lot of traders that are taking time off, traveling, a lot of the big money traders. So there could be some bullies that come in and kind of force their, have their way with the market. So you've definitely got to be careful about that, right? You've definitely got to understand that, that's something that the market makers are understanding and looking for. And, they know that that it's going to be a little bit easier to bully because they're not going to have, the big money players in the market. Hang on, I'm trying to run some stops on oil here. Come on. You can do it.
You think it's going to do it?
Oh, it's going to do it. It did it.
Nice.
Clank, clickety, clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
All right. That's what I was waiting for. Sorry, guys. A little distracted. Had to run some stops on oil there. Looks like it wants to keep going, too. Yes, it does. Nice. No, not really. We gave your country back. The Asians love trading the holiday sessions. Yeah, they don't take any days off, do they? Happened to me yesterday. Made 200 from 2 trades. Made 1 loss of 300 because I didn't cut it early. Happily, I did cut it because if I had held hoping for a bounce, it would have been liquidated again. Yeah, Chirp, that is true. Not really on the 4th of July so much as far as like bullying the other markets around, because the other markets are closed, right? Typical or traditional markets are closed. Dang, oil's really selling off. I like this.
You took a nice short.
Oh yeah. I'm short from like 75 and we're at like 74.5, and it's $10 a cent, so that's a pretty nice short. Coming back into old structure though. Is 3am busy? I'm waiting to pay for the bootcamp. He said he'd get me a link today. He's just asleep. He's in Hawaii, so it's super early for him. But yeah, Chirp, that's why I said, like, you got to be careful, and that's why 3 a.m. says don't trade on the weekends, because, it's a 24-hour market, right? This market never closes. So what happens is, people are always looking to bully the market around, and so if you just sit in there the whole time and kind of wait, it's just, I don't know. I feel like one thing that you guys can do to help yourselves out is set a max number of trades per day, right? And then turn the chart off. $10 to 1 cent, Brad. I need to learn this. Yeah, but you got to think about it, Burn It. It's also $10 the other way to 1 cent too. So, it sounds nice, but sometimes it's not, right? The first trade I took today was loss of $1,000 on oil. So luckily I made it up in Bitcoin, but yeah, it sounds nice, but it's not always great. That's for sure. But yeah, it's just the oil futures. We are gonna teach you guys how to trade all this stuff, so just stay tuned. Once you learn the TPO, right, that's the first step, is you got to learn the TPO. And yeah, the trade this morning was just my fault. I didn't follow my trade plan, didn't cut my loss quickly, kind of forced a second trade that put me deeper in the hole, and then been trying to dig my way out. He said fucking hell. That's what I love about England is micro oil is coming soon. So if you don't have a large account, you can trade the micro oil, the micro futures ES. You can trade the micro oil or the micro NASDAQ as well. I don't know if Dow or the Russell has micros, not sure. The Dow is getting ready to sell off though. But yeah, we are going to teach the futures. The first step, like I said, is the TPO, understanding market structure, because without that, it's going to be a tough go at all of this stuff. And then when you guys do get into the futures, right, what will happen naturally, as human nature has it, is you'll get on YouTube and you'll do this. Let's go to YouTube. And here, I'll just use the other one. Where is it? You'll type best futures. Right, so you'll type best futures trading strategy, and you'll get this. This guy has 36,000 views because this e-mini scalping trade system is the most profitable trade system ever, right? Let's take a peek and see like what this is actually all about.
Them ads.
Let's just look at it. Yeah, where's your chart at, pal? What's he doing? My kids are arguing. What's he using? He's using a 1 minute chart, guys. Right? A 1 minute chart. And he's just trading like this. So he's using whatever indicator this is and trading every time it breaks below it. He sells every time it breaks above it. He buys. Right? That is, just be careful, okay? Because this is what's going to happen is when you start trading something new, it's human nature to jump on and try to find a shortcut, right? But like I always say, with my kids, that ends up normally being the long cut, right? You try to take a shortcut, but during that shortcut you get lost. You end up taking a longer route, taking longer time, and then eventually get back onto the path that you were on, and now you just wasted a bunch of time instead of seeing something through, right? And that just comes with hard work, determination, effort, a ton of things that are necessary if you want to make this a lasting career, right? Or to be able to trade for an income. And a lot of those videos, what's done is that they're cut from a specific spot, right? They're cut from like a spot where there's momentum, or a spot where there's like this good range, and then they basically just put whatever indicator looks the best on it, and then tell you, okay, this is what I did, but they never show any broker statements, right? That's why when we first started this out, James and I were posting our broker statements to the Instagram, because nobody else does that, right? And that's how if someone's really making trades. There's a couple guys that I follow on Twitter, and they post their broker statements, right? That's how I know they're actually making the trades, especially if they're trading futures like in the US. because if they are, they're getting a broker statement at the end of every single day, right? And so that's that's something that you should ask, right? Like for those of you guys that follow that special someone, and they're showing that Bybit trade, ask them to press refresh on the browser and see if it stays on Bybit or it switches to a different website, right? Because it's pretty easy. I could type in I could go like this and type in oh, you guys can't see it. Look, I could go like this and type in the tradevet.com and then just click out of it, and look, this is the tradevet.com. Right?
Classic.
But if I were to press refresh right here, it would change, right? If I press enter, it goes to a different site. So, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the trading space is very scammy. And it's just because, everyone just wants to make a quick buck, right? Not a lot of the people that are on there are actually doing this for a living. A lot of them got rich probably, maybe off something lucky, or they're not rich and they're just scamming you and they just know people and, happen to have one video blow up. I keep getting told I should make these videos shorter and I should be making like quick clips of videos and stuff like that if I want to get a bunch of views and things like that. But I'm not really caring about that kind of stuff. What I'm focused on is the people that want to learn, right? For those of you guys that are here that are actually interested in learning, that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on teaching the people that want to learn, right? A lot of people kind of be like, hey, are you gonna post the plays, or are you gonna do this or do that or whatever? I'm not I like to post plays because I like to help you guys make a quick buck sometimes, but also when I post a trade and it goes wrong, my DMs fill up the exact opposite way, right? Where people are like, yo, what the fuck do I do? Your play was shit, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, like, then don't fucking listen to me, right? The whole point of the plays is not for you guys to just follow blindly. The whole point is to see how yours compare to mine, right? You have your own trade plan, I have my own trade plan, and you have, if your trade plan is lining up with my trade plan, then that is good, right? Like, just like Chappie's posts his trade plans all the time, and a lot of times ours are fairly similar, and that's what I like to see, because that helps, that gives me that confluence with my trade plan. When James and I are trading futures, we are always bouncing ideas off each other, right? I trade long or short, it doesn't matter. He's only trading short, so I know if I'm going to take a short trade, I'll bounce it off James, see if he likes it, right? Who told you that longer goes better? Well, they said, no, the crypto chemist, they said like to make videos of like little 20-minute videos, I guess, because the whole point is to get people to watch and stay. I don't care about the algorithm, so it doesn't matter. Might not be a bad idea to let some of the other people make shorter videos, channels like Chappie's. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. The only difference is I get wrecked too often. Yeah, I don't like to hear that, but I mean, I think Chappie's, you might just be over trading a bit. That's it. Oh yeah, burn it. Yeah, people. Oh, my like, I try to respond to all of the messages through Discord, but yeah, people DM me like all kinds of shit. But I mean, it's expected, right? Like, I understand. I love getting the DMs that say like, hey, thanks for helping out, the good vibe messages, because that's kind of what I do this for. But I expect to get shitty messages too. That just is part of the game, right? Anytime that you're doing something and it doesn't work, people are like, oh, you suck, you know. So that's pretty normal.
It's the circle of the social structure of life.
Thanks, Triptone. Yeah. So if we aren't in a long yet on BTC, wait for it to break that C high. Yeah, so I would be yeah, I mean, you could try it here, right? But you have resistance in this area, right? So we've come up into this space before and rejected from it. As you see, like this A period opened up in the Asia session, the B period opened up, right? It got flushed down, but it tried to pop, and then C period opened up and just said, no, thank you. And so you have, you know, this kind of like resistance. It's like a pre-resistance before the actual liquidation zone, right? So if it can pump through this, right, which I'm hoping, but if it gets up here, and doesn't break this this C high, then I'm going to, you know, probably just cut this trade. Yeah, people are always quicker to point out the negative. Yeah, no big deal. And I don't mind, you know, in the army, I always have kept it real, right? And got hated on a lot for it. You know, got promoted really fast because of it, because people, you know, recognize real. So when you are getting promoted in the military, when you get promoted for E7, you go to this centralized board. So they take your packet of all your stuff you've done and they send it to this centralized board. But you have to go on there and verify it, submit it, you know, stamp it with your seal of approval. Well, I didn't do that. I just, you know, didn't really care about it. But somebody selected me for the promotion anyways, even though I didn't actually send my packet in. And, you know, so what happened, probably somebody on the board, you know, knew who I was, and the army's pretty big, you know, small but big. You know, like Kevin Hart says, you know, we're small but big at the same time. But
that's cool.
You know, it's someone probably remembered who I was, remembered like just how I am, and just keep it real. If Brad had an OnlyFans, CF would subscribe. Classic.
That's really how those centralized boards be working, man. Like that's crazy. My dad has a friend, right? He was a he was a staff sergeant when she was an E4, and then next thing you know, man, she got promoted to sergeant first class, and then like a year later got master sergeant. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I went from E4 to E7 in 4 years. I went from E4 to E6 in 11 months.
Nice.
And so people were like, you know, people were pretty pissed off about that.
Nice.
But
yeah, dude, you know those those boards
like
and
Tupac,
stuff, the way
bro.
they do it.
Fuck them all,
man. I got screwed over on a PT card, man. They freaking gave me an article, freaking, I don't even know what it was, Article 92 or some shit. And it wasn't even me who signed off on a PT card, bro. Come on now. Felt like I was like a rebel in a, you know, in a very old government. You know what I mean? Like, no, that wasn't me. And you know, you try to talk, get your piece out, but it don't matter. You know what you say?
Oh yeah, yeah. Some people just don't want to care.
I'm just like, yeah, but I'm just explaining why it's literally not my fault. Nobody cares. I'm like, okay, this is funny. It's just a joke at this point.
Let me catch up with some of these comments real quick. People are always quicker to point out negative. Yeah. Are you liking BTC or ETH recently? So TJ, I was liking ETH for a while. Actually, for like all of last week, I was trading both. I was just getting into ETH. Graham got me into ETH. Right? I really wasn't paying any attention to ETH, but ETH started trading, you know, very structurally. You know, back here. And it wasn't having these like emotional swings like Bitcoin was having, but you know, over the past couple of days, ETH has just been, you know, having a little bit of motion. So it does look a little bit better now, though. It looks like it's kind of ready to pop. It looks like it closed those singles to the tick. So that's interesting as well. Would you short if it doesn't break that C high? Thinking of doing that? You're talking about Bitcoin? There's the break. Nice little stop run right there. That's what we were looking for. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's getting close to breaking out. Yeah, so it looks like the old Bitcoin wants to break out right now. Bottom line is they choose to take the trade. Yeah, and that's the thing, Josh, is so like when people send me messages and like, thank you so much, you know, in reality, I send them a message back that say, hey man, it's you clicking the button, it's you making the trades, it's you changing your psychology, it's you absorbing the information. It's not me, right? I'm just the facilitator. Like we always like to say, you know, I can only show you the door. You're the one that's actually walking through it. So, you know, I'm not trying to take any of the glory off anybody when they make a good trade. That's all them, right? But that's just not how human psychology is constructed. You know, people like to praise when they do good because they don't like to take credit for their own success for some reason, and then in the same turn when they have a failure they don't like to take credit for their own failure either, right? When in reality, you know, it should be both. You got to do both. Yeah, Barish, I'm glad I, you know, was able to help, right? But you know, just like I said, you know, that's all you, right? It's your ability to decide to accept new information, and I'm glad that it's helping, right? Does it look like it's rejecting the high of the range, or are you just thinking that way? It just kind of looks like it's stuck a little bit up here, right? I do, you know, my stop was here below the VWAP. Now I've got my stop right below B. If it starts to get below this point of control, I'll probably just cut it. We have this structure here, which is what I'm watching. Like we have some little structure down here, which is why I've got my stop right here. I would like to see it hold, you know, somewhere in this structure. So if we come in here, maybe catch a little bounce or something like that. But, you know, it is holding up here, which is the top of this little structure that we've got going on. We'll see how C period opens up, right? B tried to run them, couldn't. Right, B didn't run them on the downside either, so maybe C will give us a nice little C to C pop. Little C on C scissor action.
That's funny.
Does it look like it's ejected? Hi, Jumbo. Oh yeah, C130 is in his new place. Yeah, Jumbo said he's nice to hear that you're alive.
Oh yeah, I'm not dead, man. Yeah.
Andy said C130. What time did you get up in the army?
Oh, yeah, you'd be surprised, man. I was never late, bro, but oh man, dude, there were moments where I'm just like, screw this. As they get up at 6:30, man. So same time as now, which is why I kind of like it.
Stop.
But nah, I hate waking up in the mornings. I'm like Garfield in the mornings.
Here we go.
Oh, it's a crazy.
We're running.
That C period said. If you could ever like visualize what pain is, just look at the Bitcoin chart.
Not for me. Yeah. Bitcoin chart looks great to me. That's because I got the TPO.
The TPO.
Yeah.
The Topatillo.
No,
now what you know about that? You know nothing about that.
What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? I know that you Puerto Ricans don't even use Tapatio because it's too spicy.
Not me, man.
That, like some Tabasco or something.
Hey, bro, you know when...
And that's probably too hot, too.
You know when you look at something, bro, and you're like, what is that? You know, like an outlier? Yeah, that's me, bro. That's me.
I know you are an outlier. You're not like the rest of your people.
I literally... you know, I just do the exact opposite of what like literally half my family does. It's kind of weird, you know, like none of them are into investing, nothing. You know, I tell them about it, and it's just the way they're born, man. Just don't care, you know. It's just the way it is over there. In La Isla, what they call it, La Isla del Encanto. That's how they say it, you know. You know, but
You guys don't say la raza?
La raza, what's that?
Means like the race.
No. They be saying some weird stuff, man. Like it just be funny. I like listening to people from Puerto Rico talk.
Ketchup is too hot. Sometimes the people do say ketchup. They're like, "Ooh, this ketchup is spicy." I'm like, "What the?"
You know you say ketchup in Puerto Rico, bro?
Huh?
Ketchup. You know you say pancakes in Puerto Rico? A pancake. Dude.
You guys do have some funny words for certain things too, like banana, right? I think that's probably the best
guineo.
one. Guineo. Like, can I get some guineo? Like some what?
So what? Because when I was in Florida, they called them banana. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Now cereal in Spanish is supposed to be cereal, cereal. In Puerto Rico, they call it conflay because I don't know. I guess cornflakes are a thing over there. Yeah.
Stupid.
I don't know. It's crazy, bro. Trust me. There's so many words. I can go on for like the whole stream, but it will just hurt your head.
I know you guys had to like make up your own language. That's why I said you guys are trying to be fancy, bro. Just stick to regular Spanish.
Dude, it's not even, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It's the whole Caribbean, man. Cuba is just like the Cubans and Dominicans, bro. Like it's the same stuff, man. Like my cousin, he's Dominican. Oh, dude, yeah. It's just a different tone in which they use it, which kind of throws me off. It makes me wonder where it originated.
That's how you know Puerto Ricans are Americans. You know how you know how to piss off the Puerto Ricans? Is tell them they're not American.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
They'll get pissed.
Dude, no. Dude, yeah, definitely.
Because they love Puerto Rico, like they got the boxing gloves in the window and the Puerto Rican flag, painted on their car. But then you're like, yo, you're not American. They'll be like, what? They'll have a little mini freak out.
No, exactly, dude. And they'll go on and then they'll even Google that and show you, be like, it's a commonwealth. It was established in . I'm like, whoa, it's a joke.
Yeah.
We're just kidding, Calm down, man. It's my Brad thinking about a personal encounter in his head right now, like, yeah, I know, man.
My buddy from work, yeah.
He be doing that. He be busting out the facts, bro. The Google fact checked on you about Puerto Rico. Oh, man. I remember when I was in high school, the topic was making it a state. Nobody in Puerto Rico wanted that. You know why? You know what one of my family members said, bro? They said because they won't get their own flag at the Olympics. Like that matters to you that much? Like, come on now. Like,
I mean, the reason it won't become a state is taxes. That's why. But
dude, the tax cut's nice over there though. That little capital gains tax that you don't have to pay if you're like living over there and shit.
Alex, I would say you're right, dude. I would say probably, a decent percentage of Americans don't think that Puerto Rico is U.S. territory.
Bro, yes, that was at work, bro. At work, when I used to work over here in the army, bro. My buddy said that he was with a girl that said, yeah, one thing I don't like, it's just it bothers me about all these Puerto Ricans coming over here and taking jobs. Like, she said that to him, and he told it to me. And she was like, yeah, like, do they got to get their green card or something like that? And then he told me that. And this is a grown woman, man. She's like a E7. She just aren't first class, and he told me, he was like, bro, when she said that, I couldn't really like, as a person really, talk to her because that's just very uneducated on her behalf. And I was just like, I mean, yeah, man, like that's people. I've had two people my whole life legitimately ask me if I have my green card, like on on legitimate terms.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Crazy. I'm just like, no, like, dude, it's a state. They're like, what? I'm like, you don't know that? It throws me off. I'm like, man, not like the whole green card thing. I don't care about that. It's just like, I thought they teach that in school. I mean, I honestly don't remember learning it in school, so I only know it because I'm from there. But if I didn't learn it, because I'm from there, I would never know.
Yeah, so many people don't learn anything because they don't care to learn anything, and they just they hear one thing and then they just assume. And a lot of times, because a lot of Puerto Ricans have like thick accents. Not really you, but like a lot of Puerto Ricans have like those thick accents. Like your dad probably has a pretty thick accent.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he does, yeah.
Yeah, and so like even
he's never been able to get rid of it, man. I don't know how. Like
even my buddy from my old work, like he's been here since he was like 6 years old, but he still has a really thick Puerto Rican accent. And
it's probably because he just talks a lot of Spanish. Like, yeah, doesn't want to. He has no interest in English,
Well, he speaks English and stuff too, but at home his wife is Italian. He met her in Italy, so they speak. They like mix Spanish and Italian together. So he
Oh,
doesn't speak
that's
English a lot
heavy.
when he's at home. He speaks
That's
either
heavy,
Spanish
bro.
or Italian.
Oh, that's heavy. That
It's
food must be tasting good.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Ooh.
similar language.
Yeah, I be understanding certain things like very very few words. Like they're not even like I just kind of gotta guess sometimes. They'll say very similar words.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about Italian. I mean, I know a lot of the words are similar. I think there's like a couple of letters that are replaced in like a lot of the words.
Yeah. Italians arguing are funny, man. I have to rate that onto like the top of the list, bro. Like that and you know shout out to my man Andy's when I seen a few videos online of like people having arguments and they're you know they're English and it's just like the most
Prex
funniest
cock.
argument ever, dude.
Oh yeah, and that's why I love the English language, like you know, from England or like Australia, like they have that because they just say the fuck word as much as they want, and it's just normal, right? I'm
There's
over
no
here in
way.
America and I'm saying fuck, and people are like, bro, chill, and I'm like, it's just a word. Like, you know, if I was in England, I'd be saying fuck like, you know, 12 years old. But
Yeah,
like, you know,
no, bro.
everyone's just like, yeah.
Mhm.
Like, are you
Like,
fucking mental? They're
like fuck off.
yeah.
Every time it's fuck off.
Or like, so like when I grew up, like, so because my wife is old school Catholic, right? And so like bad words, like they couldn't say like pissed, but in my house, like pissed, like is just a word.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, are you taking a piss or what? Right? Like, that's like an English thing, but like, you know, and so, but like piss in her house is just like, no. The lengthy
They're like, no,
non-repetitive cussing.
No.
The F word is just such a versatile word. And you know what's funny? So I've been pretty much all over the world. Everybody knows the F word, no matter where you're from, no matter what country you're in, no matter what he said no we fucking don't. No matter what language you speak, everybody knows fuck. One time I was in Korea and I was with a couple buddies and they're, you know, shit housed. And yeah, in Ireland they say shite. Yeah. I love the Irish accent, bro. The Irish accent's dope.
Shite.
Shite.
That's funny.
I was in Korea and we were looking for McDonald's because there's a couple of McDonald's over in Korea and we are looking for it and we couldn't find it. We're fucking lost. And a couple of my buddies are hammered. And so I walk up to this group of Korean dudes and I'm like, hey guys, you guys know where McDonald's is at? And they're like, you know, give us that whole like, we don't speak English thing. And one of my buddy goes, fuck you then. And the guy's like, oh, fuck me. And it's like, oh, now you understand.
It was like that in Germany. I thought I was the only one that kind of experienced that. When I lived in Germany, man, there were certain German people like I would legitimately need some help for like certain things. Like I mean, let's just say I just didn't know what something, you know, something said on the wall. Like I needed to read it. I'm like, hey, excuse me, and they'd be like, you know, they'll move over, be like, no, you know, no English, you know, just.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, like I know. And then there'll be like, you know, other people, and I'll ask them for help, and they speak, you know, English just fine. Like apparently, like when I went back on post, and I started telling people like, yeah, you know. Nobody's really interested in hearing you talk, you know. I'm just like,
Yo, C-130's English accent's on point, right? He got the sign off from Andy's.
oh,
He said,
yeah, man,
he
you
said
gotta hit with
swearing in Russian is a whole separate language.
oh, dude, swearing in Russian is like it literally is the most aggressive thing that has ever existed, man.
That's just like speaking in Russian.
Literally, Russians talking in their language equals their driving. Like, have you seen Russian driving? Like, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, Josh, I've seen that origins of the word fuck on YouTube, dude. It's awesome. That's a funny one. Yeah, I've watched that. Even my son, my son sometimes will be like, man, I can't wait till I'm 18. I'm gonna say the F word whenever I want.
Oof. Dude, I even till today, I don't even cuss around my parents, man.
See, my parents, they cuss, so it's just normal for them.
Do you cuss around your parents?
Yeah.
Oh man,
when I grew up, my parents were like cursing. You know, I grew up with them cursing, so they still like my mom talks exactly like I do.
my dad doesn't cuss too much, but my mom, she cusses all the time. And well, my dad cusses mainly more in Spanish. But like, dude, I can't. I've tried. Like, I'll be catching myself. I'll be like, oh man. I'll be like, and I'll like be about to say it, and I'll stop. And I don't know why. I've always felt uncomfortable cussing like near my mom and dad. Man, I don't know why. I guess it's because I got smacked in the mouth when I was a kid. Like, that's a big thing over there, dude. In Puerto Rico, is like they smack you in the mouth hard if you like rebel by saying something that you shouldn't be saying. So like maybe I'm scared of that, bro, because that shit fucking hurts.
What's low class, David? So I'm not looking at the delta. Not really. You know, I have it on, like I have it on sometimes. Oops. I have the delta on sometimes. But you know, until you like really understand what the delta is actually doing, I would just keep it off. All right, so we have some, you know, we have some you know, bigger buying right here. We have some bigger buying up here, and then, you know, some bigger buying down here. And that's why as we zoomed out, what I'm looking at is this kind of upper structure that it put in, you know, before that breakout and then that fail, right? So what I'd like to see is if it's going to hold up here in this, you know, this upper structure area. You know, maybe get some rotations in here and then kind of try to attack those highs again. If not, you know, it's probably going to come back down into this lower structure down here. Right, if it breaks down, maybe get some support, come back up, but you know, maybe into this lower structure. David Galan, you're saying cursing is low class? I would have to disagree. But Russian car insurances might be bankrupt for years now. Every day they have 20 new videos of crashes on YouTube. Yeah, yes, I do see all those videos of people in Russia just speeding and crashing. Yeah,
dude, I watch those. It's insane the way they drive. Like everybody has a dash cam.
Yeah, well, a lot of other countries, they have that CCTV and it's all over. So, you know, they everything's on, everything's recorded. Profanity and vulgarities judge in reference to the innocent and the righteous. Judge, girl, grandmother, judge in the reference to the innocent and or righteous young girl, grandmother, judge. I'm not sure what that means.
What the heck?
And then they fight. They live GTA. You guys only play it, yeah. What are your session settings on for BTC futures in Ninja? I just have them on the cryptocurrency one, Matt. So the 24-hour one. Are you talking about for the Delta chirp? So the way that Delta works, right, is you get a positive Delta for something that's traded on the ask, and then you get a negative Delta for something that's traded on the bid, right? The thing is what happens. What happens is there's no way to know if it's a buyer or a seller, right? Obviously it's both because it takes a buyer and a seller. So, but what can happen is you might see a bunch of negative delta, right? But price doesn't go down, right? Or you might see a bunch of positive delta, but price doesn't go up. And that's telling you, you know, that someone's absorbing that, or there's somebody trading passively, right? Because this is when they trade on the ask, that's going to be aggressive buying. And when they trade on the bid, that's going to be aggressive selling. But if somebody is selling and price is not moving down, right? Let's see where this lower structure was at. We're talking about it's right here. Actually, it's more like here. Watch this level right here, guys. This 33.38. See if it's gonna hold this level. And so what happens is, and the way that I look at this delta when I'm watching it is I'm watching it to see how it acts, right? So let's look at it now. Like, so this is at 4.7 thousand, right? Now it's positive. Now it's going down, right? And price is moving. So, right? So there's a seller here, right? Now we're at negative 3.3, negative 3.1, negative 2.9, negative 2.7. This thing's at negative 1 million. So we're getting some buying in here, but price is not going up, right? There's some big buyers coming through right there. This thing just jumped to 3.4, 3.5, just came down back to 3.2, right? So there's a seller right here. Like we were saying, there's somebody selling, right here below this point of control. They're selling this point of control. And so what's going to happen is if they're not able to force it down, if there's not enough supply to force this thing down, what's going to happen is once we get up here above this, more buyers are going to step in and try to push price up. But if there's not enough buyers here to hold this, when you see the sellers get below this 2.6 where they sold, where there was a big seller down here, if they get below this, you'll see more sellers come in and push us back down into this structure, right? And that's how I'm looking at delta, and that's how you guys should be looking at delta as well. Not just seeing, okay, this is 4.5, 9.7, we must be getting ready to rip up. Look, because there's 22 million up here, but we didn't go up, right? So that means somebody was selling, right? And that could have been buying from these previous bars. And then even if you were to, if you wanted to dig a little bit deeper, I think you can put every bar as delta, right? Let's zoom this in. Make sure you guys can see it a little bit easier on the YouTube. So if you're looking at every bar with delta, you're seeing, this negative delta right here. This thing went more negative, but price went back up, right? So what does that tell you? That tells you that someone is passively buying this level, right? Now price is going back up. So this number went more negative, but then price went up. And so that's telling you that someone's just sitting here buying this thing up, right? And then as this delta, see, that gets more negative and it drops, as it gets up, what happens is people are jumping in aggressively, right, to push the price up. And so now we're above that 24 million, right, like I said, and that's where buyers are going to show back up, which they did. Someone tried to sell it, didn't work, and so now the next spot is going to be up here. Got to get above this negative 3.1, and now you want to see if they're going to get above, and then more buyers will step in. And what's happening too, guys, that you got to understand when price goes like this and then comes right back down, is these guys accumulate this huge position here and then take it up here 100 points or 50 points and sell it. Right? They're not looking for these 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, $1 million trades, right? They're accumulating a big position here, moving up to here and selling it, right? 50 points, 60 points, 100 points. That's all they need, because they're doing this over and over and over, right? A lot of these bigger numbers are, they're spot trading, or they could be leverage trading, and they're not leveraging 1 to 2x, they're leveraging 50 to 100x. So that's kind of how the delta works. But really, I'm just looking to see how price is interacting at these numbers. But I also, I'm not really paying attention to it that much, because, just like anything, you don't want to get too distracted to it. Nice, not sure if I'll go full on trading. I love my job, but perhaps a fewer days. Yeah, and that's important, is, you gotta love what you do, definitely. Let me catch up with these questions real quick. Delta negative, but price doesn't move or go up. Right. Delta equals the net interaction between the buyer and seller. Yes. I call this delta divergence. I don't have the thing on. So within this bar, total delta is 3.8, and we're barely green. So this is not divergence yet. If this bar closed red with positive delta like that, yeah, that would be a delta divergence. But I mean, we had 16 million, and this one almost has the same number as, you know, these previous three, and it did take a high, right? So that's where all that buying is coming from. I'm not a huge fan of that thing either. The 80% rule, Andy. I'm not sure. I haven't done a lot of look into that. You're saying like 80% if the previous session doesn't break the low of the previous session, that price will go up 80% of the time. I'd have to do more research on Bitcoin to see if that's a thing. If you take a look at if we go to like a 24-hour, so if we're looking at the 24-hour, right? You see that we put in like a little poor low right here. You know, that's also like a key thing that kind of helps me, kind of gets me on like the upside bias, at least a little bit. Right, and then we had this trending day. You know, right here we're kind of just, you know, putting a little bit of motion in, but because this is what the Ninja Trader chart looks like for me. I have it on a 24-hour. Let's see, not sure. Bearish bull. So essentially, it's longs, shorts, taking profits, and liquidations. For what, Chirp? My bad. I need to stay up with this chat. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Mr. Miyagi told me that. That's like Ricky Gervais. He's like, you can have too much of a good thing, right? Heroin.
Heroin.
It's like nobody ever goes, I'll have one heroin, please.
Yeah, I'd be like, I think two
Have
is
you ever
too
seen
much.
Have you ever seen Ricky Gervais?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, he's so fucking funny.
Is he a stand-up comedian?
Yeah. Well, he wrote the show The Office. Like, you know, he does all kinds of shit. He has another show called Afterlife on it's on Netflix. It's dark, bro.
Damn, I saw the guy that you told me to look at on YouTube. The one he talks about like very controversial subjects, but like he's like crowd loves it, man. It's like super messed up stuff that you would never talk about. I think he has red. I think he has like he's ginger or something.
I'm not sure.
Let me see.
Crypto Chemist has custom chewables. Those are the interactions reflected in the delta. Oh yeah, they are. Not really liquidations. They're just more transactions, right? So if you think about it, if I'm selling something for $1, right? Or if I want to buy something for $1, and you're selling it for $1.10, right? One of us has to come down, or we can meet in the middle and sell it for 105, but one of us is going to have to move our price there. So if I say, okay, you know, you're selling it for 110, I'll buy it for 105, and you move down to buy it for my price, right? Then this is going to show up as a negative delta, right? But let's say I want to buy 50 apples, right? And you only have 20. And so you're like, sure, I'll just sell you all of them at this 105, and so I'm still sitting at 105, but I still, you know, have now that I've filled 20, I have my 30 apples left that I need to buy still, because you know, my boss told me I need to buy 50 apples, and there's another seller up here, and he's selling, you know, his apples for 120, and so, you know, what do I do? Because I'm trying not to be seen. I'm trying to fill this big order, but I'm trying not to be seen by the market. So what do I do is I say, hey, I'll buy them for 110, right? And this guy's got 10 apples. So I move my price. Hey, I'll buy these for 110. This guy's like, sure, I'll sell you my 10 for 110. So he comes down, more negative delta, right? But price is moving up. And then now I still have 20 apples left to fill, right? And I see these people sitting here at 125, and this guy's selling his for 127. They both got 10 apples left. And so what happens, and this is what happens when you see a stop run, is, you know, I'm almost filled with my order, so I run the book and I just snap these guys out, right? Because what happens is some of these guys were sitting here at 120, and when they saw all these 110s get filled, they moved their target back. They're like, oh, well, I can sell it for more. And so what happens is I run the book, and that's when you see these stop runs occur. So I take these apples from these guys, even though they were trying to slowly increase their price to get me to chase it up. I take these apples from these guys, and that's when the positive delta shows up, right? And this is how delta is working. So when you're seeing a bunch of negative delta, but price is not coming down, that's telling you that somebody is buying it up, right? Somebody that has more than sellers. I know that's a very simplistic way, I guess, right? And I love using apples, but you know, hopefully that can kind of help you with the explanation of delta, right? And the reason I don't pay attention much to it, and because also you got to think, let's look inside. So this is 8.9, right? We're on Binance futures. Let's go to and this is just our volume point of control, 1.6, right? Let's go to inverse. You can't really see it very well. This fucking thing's in the way. But it's like, you know, it's not even a million, right? Let's go to FTX 2.9. Let's check out my boy BitMEX. Oh, BitMEX doesn't even have Bitcoin. Let's check out this one. This one, nah, no, let's not waste our time. But you guys see what I mean? So the thing that I like about futures on the CME is that everything trades. Crypto Timo, what's up? I think you're new. I've never seen your name before. The thing about the delta is that it's through different exchanges, so you never know, you know, what's going to happen. And see, look, so look what happened. We got above that number, guys, and now we're racing up, right? So that person that was trying to sell ran out of apples, right? And the person that was buying decided to buy the book, run it all the way up, and then you get a seller on the high, right? Someone who's like, okay, yeah, let me sell these out. 98 watching, 62 likes. Yeah, let's bang that like button. What nationality are you? Profesh or Bulgarian? Oh, Bulgarian. Classic. And so, you know, that's the reason I like the CME exchanges, because everything is traded through one exchange. So I'm not having to wonder and this happens, guys, believe me, is what will happen is someone will buy a ton of Bitcoin through the Binance futures, right? They'll place this huge buy order through the Binance futures. So it showed up as this huge buy. And what will happen is, you know, you'll get all this positive delta. And then they'll take it over to Bybit and sell it. Right? And that's the thing, is because you can, if you buy it, you can transfer it easy. Right, especially when you're big like that. Thank you, Crypto Timo. Easiest money of my life. Dead Inside. I think you're new too. A bugged BTC exchanger. I posted the video. Nice. You know, and so that's something to look out for, right? Like, look at all this positive delta, but yet price is coming down. And so now we try to see if it's going to be defended again on this upper structure. Right? And if not, like last time, like I said, if it's going to break down, it's going to break down. Well, actually, the levels here into this previous structure. People defended this lower structure. So now we're having like a structure within a structure. Now it's getting real deep, guys. It's like, oh shit. Aggregated data would be a nice option for delta and volume. Yeah, that'd be great. Then I would use a footprint chart if that was a thing. But see, like when you take this and take this to none, and we put on the imbalance chart. If we zoom in a bit, we could really zoom in. So you see, let me turn delta off real quick. This is the footprint chart, right? And I use a footprint chart a lot for futures, but the thing is, there's such a big difference when it comes to this exchange versus the other exchange versus the other exchange. Yep, scam alert on TPO and dead. Oh, okay. They're scammers. Crypto TPO. Get those scammers out of here, boys. But yeah, so with the footprint chart, right, I like to use it on the CME, but on here, you can have, the imbalance ratio is tough because it's such a high number. So you can never really tell, like, where the imbalance is. Plus you're not seeing every single tick, because if you were, the page would, it'd be unwatchable for every single, imagine if you had like every single dollar on here from 590 and every single dollar, right? That'd be tough to see. But also you're not seeing, you see a buy imbalance and price went up, but there's plenty of times where we could look and you can see, sell imbalance right here and price goes up, right? Buy imbalance right here, and then the next bar trades down. Sell imbalance right here at the bottom of this bar, price goes up. So, and it's not that you can just buy and sell imbalances in the CME chart either, but it's just like, that area should hold, right? And you see this is trapped buyers right here on this chart. So typically if you see something like this, that's not a great sign to see. And price trades down and then comes back up, and now we're back in that same area, right? But you can't see all of the data. That's the annoying part.
Dang, the mods are just getting it in.
Mods, you will get more of this now because your success rate just be on alert. How dare you enter my realm? What were they doing? Were they in the Discord?
There's no point in scamming, guys. Just learn TPO. The more I am learning about futures, the more I lose interest in crypto, says Eric Smith.
Yeah. You guys see the reason that James doesn't like trading crypto, because the futures is just cut and dry, right? A lot of times too, like, when I'm on when I was on Bybit yesterday, I'm having to like go back to the thing because it doesn't tell me my exact fees. It just tells me my exact fees per order. So I've got to, fucking calculate all of this stuff by myself. And they do that shit on purpose, right? Because I looked and I'm like, oh, $18 for this one. That's not bad. But then I see that it took like, 50 orders to fill me, and they were all $18. And I was like, oh, well, one of the trades I made yesterday on Bybit, the commission was like $560 or some shit. It was a market order, but still, it's like, Jesus.
It's a huge fee. What the heck?
Yeah. I was doing some stuff I shouldn't have been doing, Pele.
Nah, bro, they stay trying to run them pockets, man.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out. It worked out to be successful, so that's what matters. But yeah. Matt Flint's like, hi, friend, future's friend. Fees for crypto on small amounts are pennies. Yeah, they're not bad, especially if you use limit orders. That's one thing about Bybit that lets you those conditional orders are decent, but sometimes they don't trigger also, so it's that's annoying as well.
Yeah, I think it's like really not a user-friendly exchange that they make it seem to be. It's not.
Well, the thing is, so if we're looking at like here, I'll pull my oil chart over. So, or any of these really, if we're looking at these charts, chart trader off. So everything is based off of a single tick. So you have 78, 77, 76, right? Whereas within crypto, it's so big, right? So even if we go to like if I change this thing to something that has a high value, like let's see, let's duplicate this another tab and take a peek at the Dow. So the Dow, right, is around the same value price wise as Bitcoin, but it doesn't go into cents. It just goes by dollar. So it goes 69. Let's zoom in. So it goes like 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, right? It doesn't go by like pennies and all this extra shit. It just goes like this, right? Looks like it wants to break back down into the value area. Nasdaq just on a tear today. So when you guys see a profile that looks like this, right? That's real, has like some thin spots and is really moving in one direction. That's called a range, or not a range, a trend. So don't trade against a trend. Like if you see this thing just ripping up like this and you're not putting any value, like see how this one has a nice little value area, but this one has a value area here, puts another value area, it gets above it, right? You shouldn't be shorting this ever. And if you are, you might change your name to 3 a.m. trader, but you shouldn't be doing that. When does the England 8? What time is it in the old country? Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Oh yeah, so I think the England session just closed, or the London session. And look, the ES is doing nothing. The ES has been just making its mark overnight, pretty much. See, we're putting in this poor high here. We couldn't break the high, so this is a good sell spot. Let's try to sell the ask. Let's take a look at the footprint also. If I drag the footprint down and make it smaller so we can see both at the same time. So you're seeing these big buyers right here, right? So this is the ES. You're seeing these big buyers right here. And so what we're doing is we're taking a short. Oh, fuck. We're taking a short here. And if, it's a low risk short, right? So we've got short right here, 34 or 24 3/4, right? And our stop is above this breakout. Actually, we got to move it one higher. Is our stop is above this breakout, right? We couldn't break the top. We are one time framing up, so this is more of a fade trade. But what we're looking for is to see if this is going to hold below these, above these buy imbalances, right? So you see, the buying, how much stronger it is here, right? And then you're seeing a seller come in here, but you're trying to see if it's gonna hold this level. And it looks like you are getting some buying support. So now that we start to see these, if these buyers show up here, starting to see some selling and some buying, more selling. And it looks like the buyers are going to win this one.
Filled.
Yep, and there it goes. You know, so that's just kind of how it goes, right? That was a low risk trade right there. I think I lost $50. You know, so a low risk trade. You know, but a chance to run these stops to the downside. But what happened was somebody bought the book, right? And so that's that low risk trade that I'm talking about. That you know is key, right? Managing risk. I'm working tonight, start at 7:30 p.m. I have to make sure my phone is charged to watch that at work. Oh yeah, Spain and Switzerland on 1 hour, definitely gonna watch that. Jingles K, never heard of it, just made it up right now. Football is on tonight.
Football. Slice them ticks, bro.
If you mark it in and limit out, it's not bad. Yeah, on Bybit, Josh, that's what I normally do. Just mark it in and limit out. Rookies do stop limit orders, then complain that their orders didn't get filled. Yeah. And the thing is it like I was saying, you know, because it doesn't trade just by ticks. So what happens is if you have like one of those conditional limit orders and price doesn't hit that exact specific number, you know, maybe it jumps and then goes down, you didn't get filled, you know, and then you're like, fuck. But yeah, Carl, we'll go over, you know, everything as we go forward. The first step, like I said, is TPO, right? If you guys want to get into trading, you know, futures, if you guys want to get into trading, you know, oil, the ES, the NASDAQ, the Dow, right? If you guys want to get into trading, you know, these things, it is the TPO that's going to be the first step in your in learning. See, now we're breaking back below. So we had that little peak above. See if they hold this structure. Okay. I'll be back. I gotta get my son some breakfast.
Okay. What is good, guys? What is good? This apartment is okay. It's not bad. I did get screwed over yesterday, though. It was pretty insane. Because I was supposed to sign my documents for closing yesterday, but I was never told that I had to. At that date, I was told I was going to be informed by my agent, and well, he did not inform me that I had to. So I signed, or no, I had to sign them the day before yesterday. I actually signed them yesterday. So I called the title company. I'm like, screw this. Like, you guys are screwing. Like, you guys are like screwing up my vibe. Jake the Cake, yo, hey, what's up, man? What is good, dude? The dog is fine, Andy's. She's chilling. There's some ducks over here, man. I was feeding them ducks, and them ducks eat quick. I had like a thing of oatmeal. I just or not, it wasn't oatmeal, it was just like oats. That's what it was. It was regular oats, dry oats. I just threw them and they were just eating them up. Jake, can we pay half crypto then rest Cash App for the class? LOL. Think if 3 a.m. is asleep. Oof. I'm pretty sure it won't be an issue, but I can ask him. I can see what's up. He's the one that's managing most of that, so I gotta really get with him. Chirp tone, did it work out? Yeah, it worked out. Everything worked out, man. Everything. Life is nothing but a narrative, you know. You really just have to understand how to enjoy living where you're at and accepting the terms that life has offered you, you know, just come with an agreement. You know, just have an agreement within yourself and understand that not everything is going to be the way you want it to, but when you appreciate the you know, the imperfections of life, everything that comes is really just, you know, just all the same thing within itself, you know. It's just chilling. Jumbo, bitch, don't kill my vibe. I like that song by Kendrick. It's a good song. I'm a little tired this morning. I don't know why either. Andy's, you fed the dog ducks. He must have a big mouth. Nah, yeah, man, the dog tries to eat the ducks. Like she runs at them because it's next to a pond. So it's like an apartment complex, and like in the middle is like a pond area with like a fountain. Try to make it look all fancy. I don't know why, but the ducks have like established their domain there, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, get these ducks out of here. So like, you know, I want them to leave, but I don't want the dog to like jack them up. Like, I don't think that's okay, you know. So I just kind of hold her back, but I got to take her outside to use the restroom, man. It's difficult. What you know, what am I supposed to do? You know, the ducks or my dog using the restroom. I mean, bearish bull, yeah, man. You know, just your reality. You know, just gotta be real with it. Serendipity, how's the heat out there now? It's good now. It is good. We're chilling. It's not blasting hot how it was a few days ago. So you're good. I think you were saying you're heading over to Washington State. Yeah, it's way better now. It's, trust me, like it literally, I don't know what the last 3 days were. Like I really don't, because first off, it was hot as heck for like 3 days straight. And then on top of that, you know, the very next day after the, you know, the last day of the heat wave, it's like it never happened. It's just regular weather. It's foggy outside. It's cold, you know, gloomy, regular Washington. It's just like, what just happened? Really throws me off. Are you trading now on TPO C130? Yeah, I am. I have exo charts, so I'm really just like trying to fine tune every last aspect of like what I'm doing. I still have a good ways to go. I'm not like the way I learn is like I always think I could be missing something, right? So I never consider myself to be anything else than what, you know, I don't think myself to be anything else than really anything. I mean, I'm just trying to trade the charts and see what it is, but I know that every time I'm taking a trade, I'm missing something. So I'm really trying to fine tune everything, and I'm taking up a lot of sim trades and stuff because, you know, I'm really not trading like TPO 100% like with real money, only because I'm trying to get this down to a T. So when I use real money, it just doesn't take a higher toll on my psychology, because, you know, when you start taking losses with real money and you're using a new way of trading, it really affects the way you make your decisions, and sometimes it can be very hard to get out of that, because if you're losing fake money when you're sim trading, you can go back and see where you might have gone wrong, especially if something, you know, something clear as TPO that shows you the value area highs, value area lows, you know, time point of control. You know, you have all these things that shows you the you know, where value was spent at within that candle. You can see a clearer picture where you went wrong. You know, when you lose real money, you're more pissed off about the fact that you lost real money than to really even try to get to understand where you went wrong. And that's just like anybody. So I'm really just chilling, sim trading like a lot, right? And just writing notes down for now. And just waiting till I am, what's the word I'm looking for here? What's the word?
Confident.
No, I was gonna say confident, but I'm thinking of a very specific one. Yeah, confidence is one of them. Like, yeah, a lot more confidence. Um, certainty. There we go. So like I'm waiting for a higher degree of certainty. You know, like I'm not. I don't ever. I'm the kind of person that never is uncertain. Like just because you're certain doesn't mean that you're right. You know. So I don't think that I'm right. I'm just certain. I have agreed upon myself that I feel like I'm gonna be, at least for the majority, correct in what I'm doing. That's just certainty. You know. It's no guarantee, but if you do stuff like, it's like driving. If you're uncertain when you're driving, holy guys, let me tell you, my wife is very uncertain when she drives. Oh my, that's why that car is destroyed. Like I've been trying to tell her, I'm like, these people in Washington are crazy, even though it might not be your fault, right? Understand that you have to be very aware of everything around you, and that's what I like about the TPO. You're not blind. So I'm just trying to make sure I can dial in my mirrors and everything is good before I go for the drive.
That's smart. And that's
Yeah,
that's
man.
kind of what we tell you guys too, is we want you guys to really focus on learning everything first before you start to like get on that test drive, kind of like Ramon's saying, you don't just get behind the wheel of a Ferrari and think that you can hit a corner going 150 miles an hour, or even just slam the gas and then control it from there if you're not used to it, right? Otto said he really enjoyed your TA videos. Yeah, so did I. And like I always say, is that his TA videos on, even when using Market Cipher, were better than anybody else's that use Market Cipher.
Guys, I was okay, like I was okay making Market Cipher videos, and I really enjoyed doing it. But like, honestly, when you see something that's better, just being real, right? When you see something that's better and it works, you know, how long are you gonna lie to yourself? So I saw TPO and I was just like, it's just like, if I could trade, this is what I've been looking for. Like I knew that trading was more than just indicators and all this. Like, for me, when I was trading indicators, it's like, where's the concrete, hey, this is where this position is, this is what this means. Like there's nothing I could have used. Like when I see TPO, it's, for me, right, if I had to use a perfect word, I just said the word, if I had to use a word, it'd be perfect, right? Because it has everything in there. I mean, you can always add on to it, but what else, when you add, for a beginner, what else could you need? What else could you ask for? And for anybody that sees this, right, it's just like, this isn't, if from people from crypto, right, myself, are very resistant against this kind of trading method. It's just like, oh, where are the gains at? But once you understand that it is nearly almost impossible to hit those big moves like that, you start realizing that you are living inside of a cage within your own mind. And that is what people are preying on, is the fact that you can't get out of the cage, and they're waving the key in front of you saying that you can get this key if you do XYZ, which is impossible. Because in reality, you are the one that manifested that reality inside your head, and only you can break yourself free from it. And that's what people don't see. And that's what I'm seeing, right? Market Cipher was cool and all, guys. I enjoyed doing the TA, but this is just way better,
Market Cipher has a new yellow line. What's that mean?
I haven't really hopped on that thing in a minute. I know that they added that one indicator that had like a bunch of ones and twos, and it's supposed to gauge bearish and bullish strength, but they don't tell you what's in the indicator. So I kind of found it very hard to believe what those numbers meant.
And there's like a fucking million of them. I seen a video with them, and I'm like, it looks like they're fractals, but people probably just don't know how to use it. So
yeah, me, I'm just trying to look for the why, man. It's just like, when you can get the why from the bars themselves, the information from the data that you're reading itself, without it going through another funnel, like an indicator, it's pretty breathtaking. Because for me, I have I look at things very long term. Like for me as a trader, once I hone in, when I say hone in, I mean like actually 100% understand this. And even until then, I still have some room to grow. I know for a fact this is the beginning of what my future has to hold, and I see that. So it makes it a lot more interesting and engaging to learn this, knowing that this is what my skills are going to be pretty much built on top of, as far as learning to read the market.
Oh, exactly.
Like, just using this compared to using a bar chart or a range chart, like this is just looking at it. You could, if you give this to a beginner, they could probably get a better accuracy rate than somebody who just has a range chart, because it doesn't have anything on there.
And that's the thing with the TPO. Like the huge learning curve is not that it's some complicated thing. The huge learning curve comes from the simplicity, because people are like, this is so simple, it can't work. There's just no way, right? And so people are so resistant to it, and especially in the crypto community, they're so used to sucking that market cipher down that they see something else and they're like, nah. Crypto face makes $2 million trades. He's a better trader than you because he's doing $2 million trades, right? But on average, how many people have that account size to hold it through, right? Even if you do low leverage, you're sitting through trades sometimes that are I mean, to each his own, I guess. Whatever.
It's just this has nothing to do with anyone, guys, right? In particular, I'm just giving a general overview. Like when somebody has a good amount of money, the only reason that
Later,
money
John.
seems like a lot. Oh yeah, have a good one, brother. Take it easy, man. You have to understand, guys, that everything, it literally, when it comes to money, is all psychology. Every last bit of it, down to the T. Money doesn't really exist. Money is just a perception of something that we hold this value. That's all it is, and it only exists because there's a shared collective, I would say. But when somebody's using like a big account size, it's only big because you don't have as much money as they do, right? That's just the truth, right? So you compare, you look at that number, it's bigger than what you're able to make, and you're like, wow, he's doing it. But the thing is, though, is that to you, right, if somebody made half of the amount of money that you made and you had them next to you while you were trading what you traded, they would say that you're trading with a lot of money compared to what they can trade with. So the thing is that there's a certain, this is why a lot of people out there freak out about money and all this and that, because they say, oh, the rich get richer, right? But that's just the only way the system can work, right? And then when you see that, that's what Brad always tries to tell people, right? The market maker, he's not a bully, right? I mean, even though that's like an analogy we like using and stuff, but he's really just doing his job. So when you find out, when you find out that they're just doing their job, and you just kind of like, you're not showing any resistance, but neither are you 100% on board. You're just trying to see where they're trying to go. Like, who cares what their goal is, right? Who cares what the ultimate end point is, right? We're just here to just find the path. That's all we're trying to see. And when you find the path, okay, like when you're lost in the woods and you find the path, that's like step number 1, is finding the natural line of drift. Where is this gonna go, right? Where are we heading to from here? You have to identify your surroundings, where the natural line of drift is, which is where like the animals walk in and stuff. And you want to know where is the path of least resistance to get there. Once you see that path, just trail it. Trail that path, guys. Follow it very slowly, and eventually you'll get to the end, right? And once you get to the end, you don't even really care about where everything else is. You're just there for the journey, so you can go for that marathon. It's not a sprint, Try and take it slow. I think a lot of people, even myself, like try to take it way too fast.
And Joey is asking, when the whales, like institutions, claim they are buying and say 100 million worth of Bitcoin, how do they actually buy them in one hit? No. So what happens is, let's say you're working on a trade desk, Joey. Let's say we have the TTV trade desk, right? And I call Ramon. I say, hey, I need $100 million worth of Bitcoin, right? Well, he's not just gonna buy all this Bitcoin. What he's going to do is let the price come to him. He's going to be like, I want to buy it at this price. And, he's going to buy some. Price is going to go up. And he's going to wait for it to come back down. And price is going to go up. He's going to wait for it to come back down, right? He's going to buy it. And let's say it doesn't come back up. It comes up here. So now he's just going to buy it here, right? No one is just buying these huge amounts at one spot, right? And that's how the markets are made. The markets build a position, right? Position built. So they build this position here, move the market up, sell everything they have. The market comes back down. People are selling. They're buying it up. And the market moves back up because supply runs out, right? The market can't go down without a seller, right? That's just not that's just how the market works. So, that's why I always tell you guys, to keep an eye out for single prints. Right, like we still have these single prints up here in this zone, just a little bit left. If buyers are strong, they'll close these, right? And it's same thing when we have single prints to the downside. I mean, I don't think we have any single prints Well, we did have single prints here, and then we had a strong seller push through these single prints. But if this thing were to come here and not crush through these single prints, then you shouldn't be selling that market, right? And so now we're coming back down into this this little lower structure here. Interesting to see if we hold this.
Muy interesante.
All right,
very
chappies.
heavy
See you later,
rejection.
bro. Get some sleep. I think that's pretty much it. We're at that 2-hour mark. If anyone has any questions, toss them in the chat real quick, see if we can answer them. But if not, we got a game starting here at 9 o'clock. What was it? It was the Spain and Swiss, I think. Let me take a look. You're not having them.
Oh, nice. My so everything got closed yesterday for the house, so I just got a text from my
Nice.
agent.
Yeah, Spain and Swiss are on at 9, and then Belgium and Italy today at 12. And then tomorrow afternoon, the big England game. I think England's got the Ukraine game in the... I think they should be good.
Ukraine.
Exactly, but Bill B. Yeah. That's exactly what's happening. Streaming tonight, I'm not gonna be streaming tonight. No, my wife, she worked like 5 days in a row and she's got the day off, so we'll be hanging out. Score prediction for the Spain and the Swiss game? Oof. Oh man, that's a tough one. I think they're pretty evenly matched. I don't know. Spain has scored 5 goals in the past 2 games, I think, or maybe the past 3 games. So they've got a pretty strong offense. But what they kind of front run a lot. So if they can keep up the scoring that they've been on, because they've pretty much been on a scoring rampage. If they can keep up that scoring, I think Spain's got it. I almost think that they want to score 5 goals again. If buyers are strong, they'll close the single prints to the upside. If sellers are strong, they'll close the singles to the downside. Exactly. Such simple words. Yep. Exactly. Bitcoin Brad gonna Morgan shirt. Classic. Yeah, it's 10 goals in the past 2 games. Yeah.
For bearish bull, I said that it's it's kind of, it feels good though. He's saying that I'm assuming you feel the same way I do. It feels good to be concrete on knowing where true strength is, right? You have like single prints, and then when buyers are strong, right, they close the singles, and then that lets you know that buyers are strong. It's just like that's kind of simplistic approach to understanding the structure. Like when you look at you're looking at Brad's screen right now, right? What do you see? Right? You see structure. You see you see what the market really is. Like that's the crazy part about it, is like you see it, and now that you see it, you can't unsee it. Like when you open up TradingView, you're like, what is this? Like there's nothing here. When you see the structure, when you see where true demand lies, or where true supply is, or when you understand the correlation between supply and demand for you to be able to build your own narrative based off of the structure, it's just, what else could you ask for? You don't even need an indicator anymore.
You are the indicator, right? That's what I keep trying to tell you guys, is that you guys are the indicator. Terry, it's really depending upon you, right? Think about it as, how long will it take you to believe, right? That's what I always tell everybody. Is it's really on you, right? Some people get it quick, some people don't. But it's it will work if you can just accept it, right? It's just a matter of how long, after I show you the door, will you walk through it, right? They say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It just depends. Brad, I have one question in multiple parts above. Oh, Jingles, my bad, bro. Let me look. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so but M came down. Let me make sure this is the top one. Okay, so I went long above the VWAP because buyers are in control around 33,150. Nice, I like that. But M came down and went past the VWAP, got stopped out. My condition was wrong. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, so you're talking about on L, right? On the L period. My condition was wrong because it didn't hold the VWAP, stop out, but M went back up, breaking the highs and the stops. Do you have comments, advice on what I did wrong, what I could have done better? So Jingles, at this point, right? So like, let's say you went long the break of the VWAP, right? Which is around 33,150, you said. So as it comes up, you see that it breaks these tops. As it's coming lower, look for the structure. Right? We see this. You got five half hours right here in a row, and then these two, right? G period traded down but failed. Does that look below and fail? So you have some structure here. Look to see how it acts when it gets down to that structure, right? Because if you put if you entered here, you probably took a little bit of profit here. I like to base my stops off structured spots. So if I were to have entered here, my stop would have been below the point of control, right? So you're talking about 100 points, because you got a 150. This thing's at 40, 50 ish. So you're talking about 100 point stop loss. Let me see. Try to find the rest of your question, bro. Brad, I have one. Okay. Does that help? So I don't think you did anything wrong. You're managing risk properly. What happens is, Jingles, is it just takes time. You know what I mean? Screen time, as far as to be confident to hold this trade once it breaks the VWAP. That's it. Like I said, I got in here. We broke the VWAP, took some profit. As we came back down below the VWAP, believe me, I've got my finger on the trigger, ready to flatten this thing out, ready to pull my
Stop
chute.
filled.
Right. And that's one thing that I'm looking for, right? But I'm basing it off of structured stop. So when I entered here, my stop is here originally, right? Based off this low structure, right? So enters here, comes down. As we break, I take some profit, move my stop up into profit, right? Based off of the structure. This is top of structure, comes down. And then the same thing as we were going up earlier, like I told you guys, I had moved my stop up to here, and my stop was below B. And I'm out of the trade now, but oops. I closed my last position when we broke this C high. But I was just slowly using the structure. We have this structure here. So you put your stop here, the bottom of structure, doesn't come down, E opens up, right? So even if I were to have stayed in this trade, I would have been putting my stop here based off of the low of the structure, and would have gotten stopped out on this downside. But I took, I had my last take profit at that C high, so that's really all I was looking for. Right? Not bad. 600 points. I'm not looking to capture, if I can get like a 300 to 500 point move, that'd be cool. Psycho Forex Trading. I do daily live streaming on Forex currency trading. Are you any good?
That is the main question.
Yeah. What do you use to trade? Are you using like
Channel says Elliott wave theory, price action theory, Wyckoff theory, and then
oh no.
identify candle. That Forex though, you say it's for psychos?
I mean, Forex is just so manipulated, right? You know, I mean, crypto is pretty manipulated as well, but it's just so manipulated that if you're trading Forex, if you have like inside information, then you can make a ton of money trading Forex. But if not, it's a bit tough.
TUFF.
TUFF.
Byron said, got nothing to say now. What the heck? I mean, it's just like, why would somebody just jump into a channel and just say,
Yeah,
I do this?
I mean, he's just trying to, get some likes or some followers or something. No big deal.
No, I don't care about it. It's just, I wouldn't do that.
Well, I mean, it was just like Jason Casper coming in here the other day, dropping $99 and trying to be like, oh, I'm balling. Here's $99, guys. Remember, I'm Jason Casper. It's like, thank you.
I got $99, bro.
Yeah, but market cipher ain't one.
Oh man, life is a crack. I love living. That's the best thing you could do, guys. Enjoy the position you're in life. Not only do you have to enjoy the sweet positions that TPO gives you, but enjoy the position that you're in life right now. Don't let that winner turn into a loser. Because all of you guys are winners.
Psycho Forex Trader looks like you're trading like on the 5 and the 15 minute. Right, I'm not a huge fan of stuff like that. If you're gonna trade on a 5-minute chart, right, then the next chart you should look at is a 10-minute chart, not a 15-minute chart. I don't know why people do that.
5 times 3 is 15, bro.
Yeah, that's not right. So like if you're going to trade on a 30-minute chart, if you're going to look at a 15-minute chart, then look at a 30-minute chart, right? You want to look at, if you are going to look at multiple time frames, look at multiples of the time frames. I got 99 problems with green dots saying one. Yeah, so like if you're going to look at a 30-minute chart, look at a 60-minute chart. Or if you're gonna look at a 1-minute chart, well, just don't look at a 1-minute chart, guys. Okay, don't waste your fucking time. Unless you're trading momentum, right? If you're trading momentum like on stocks and you're going hard size and you're just getting, you're just getting like quick scalps, then yeah, trade some momentum. I gotta give Curtis his insulin real quick. Be right back.
Okay. Yo, guys, I just want to tell you guys that you guys are amazing for being here till the end of the stream. You guys rock. You guys are legit. And, life can be a little crazy sometimes, but we all learn one thing and one thing only, that TPO is king. Or that at least we, we prefer it. I at least do so, do prefer this method. How is everybody doing, man? Says Jumbo. Guys, how are you guys doing? How y'all feeling? Are y'all pumped in the morning? I hate the mornings, but I get up in the mornings with such motivation. I just want to explode right now. What hours are the trade room, or what hours will the trade room be? after August 2nd. I have to double check. I'm not sure if they're gonna change. Pretty sure they won't, but I will check with you, man. We will post all that stuff before we go live with the trade room. That way people can know the scheduling and stuff and see if that's something that works out for them.
AM sleeping, Burnett. He's sleeping. So early, I'm about to pump BTC by $100. Let's see that green candle. I like it. First thing in the morning, yeah. So the hours for the trade room are gonna be probably from like 6 or 6:30 to 8. We're gonna run it for like 2 hours. Are ES futures easier to trade than Bitcoin? It's just different, right? You know, once you learn the TPO, you're going to be able to trade anything, like I'm saying. So it's just going to be a matter of trying to find, you know, what's getting ready to set, giving you a good setup. You know, that's it. So you're just gonna, I've heard TPO is mostly used only for scalping. Can it be used for swings? Yeah, it can be. So and you know, this is kind of what we were talking about the other day. So let's use it for a, it can be used, I mean, perfectly, because I swing options, right? And I use this. So let's get rid of this, put it all into one. Let's zoom out. If this thing would just show up. Okay. Sorry guys, this thing, gotta get it to show up. There we go. All right, so this is how you would use it for swinging. This is how you would use it for swinging, right? So you see this upper distribution area. We had this area marked as a previous balance zone, right? Because we came up and held it, broke above it, right? We tested below it, broke above it, and then held above it up into this upper balance zone. But once we break below this balance zone, what you can do is take a short position, right? We just short smaller time frames. You can, short out of the break of this balance zone, right? You see this range day. This was a range down, or not a range. What's the word? I can't think of the word. Trend. There we go. Trend day. Right, so we had this trend down, and now you know that where the thin spot is. So as you've taken some profit off of your swing trade, right, you can know, oops, wrong way. You can know, where you can look to take some more profit, where you can expect to see some more value get put in, right? And we drew this line yesterday to see, if the value is going to come down here and test these lows, right? And it did. And what did I say about these 45-degree angles? What does this show? Anybody? Right? It shows that we had, trapped sellers, right? People tried to short this low, weren't able to break. This that poor low. And then, now we're trading up. We're up here back into yesterday's value, right? We have this nice P profile, and we're kind of pushing back up. And so this is how you would use this for swing trading, right? And so you know that as you get down into this area, if you're swing trading it from up here, as you get down to this area and you don't break this area because of the value that's put in here, then it's time to close that swing trade, right? But if we keep going, right, and if we we explore a little bit lower, right, these are getting into the low lows, but you can expect a little bit of support down here, right? So if we break out of this value that was up here, if we were to have broken out of it and came down into here, this is where you would look to take some more profit. And then if we kept breaking down, right, then you would hold it. But if we came to here and started coming back up, then it's time to cut that trade. And that's how you will go about swinging these positions. So yes, you can use the TPO to swing trade.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
I do it with options.
I have to give you that ending right there, bro.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the old saying, bro. When I was a kid. That's how the cookie crumbles, man. I don't want cookie crumbling.
Who used to say that?
No, I just used to hear it a lot, man. Like that's just something people would say just
a
to
famous
explain,
news anchor used to say it. That's why. Walter Cronkite.
How do you know this?
I read a lot, bro.
Listen, man.
I had quite a significant loss because some mistake. If I take your class and still don't success, then I'm totally screwed. What should I do then? I need to somehow recover from this. I'm open-minded. So
you came to the right spot.
Ultimately, the successes and failures are, not just based off of one thing, right? You can't just put, the VWAP every time we go below the VWAP you sell, every time we go above the VWAP you buy, like things like that. Like there's not always going to be a clear and consistent thing. What I recommend, if you are having some issues, when you take the class, you just need to have an open mind and then understand that it's not going to be built in a day, right? You're not just going to take the class, a week of class and be like, oh, I'm Neo now, or I'm Mr. Smith, or you have to understand that it just takes time. That's it. It just takes time. Just like everything, and you've got to put in the hard work, right? Like if you guys were to look at like my just my watch history on YouTube, all the shit that I watch, I don't waste a lot of time, right? I used to play a lot of video games, and then when I really started getting focused on trading, when I decided that this is what I was gonna do for my career, I pretty much stopped playing video games. I played Halo for the first time the other night in a long while, right? So it's just because that's all I want to do. I want to focus on this until I can get to that point where it is easier. And you've got to understand that you're never done, right? I'm never to the point where I'm just like, oh, I know it all now. I'm never to that point, right? I'm always trying to learn something, to see if there's some other stuff, things like that. I'm never satisfied with my knowledge, right? There's always some things you can improve on, and you've got to understand that, right? A lot of people think once they take the bootcamp that they're just going to become this amazing trader, and then what's going to happen is they're going to have some losses and they're going to send me a DM that says your bootcamp class is shit, and I'll just say thank you. What can you do? I can't control. I can't click the button for you. You know what I mean? So, but you just got to remain open-minded. If you're struggling, take a break off the charts. Like I was telling you guys, the back in February, I had a pretty bad week. Very bad week actually. So that's I just took some time off, decided I gotta take a break from the charts. I gotta I got to figure something out. So I just stopped trading for like a week and was just like, you know what, this is it. I'm just going to be done. And then, you know, kind of refresh my mind, hit some meditation, came back, and then, you know, now I'm doing well. Today I started off being down over $1,000. That's how I started my day. The first two trades I made were for like negative $1,200. You know, so not a great way to start the day for sure. But you know what I do is I take a deep breath, I focus, I grab my fidget spinner, I, you know, reevaluate what I'm doing, and then, you know, decide like, okay, you know, stop, you know, pull your head out of your ass and start following your trade plan, right? Janelle, Bitcoin Bread, would you be able to help with NinjaTrader setup? Yeah, definitely. Invert the screens. Yeah, when you lost your gains 2 days, I took the next day off to enjoy. Yeah, and so like, let's say you make a trade, right? And you lose the trade, right? Especially with Bitcoin, because with Bitcoin or with any crypto really, you're not really placing trade after trade after trade. At least you shouldn't be, right? You shouldn't be making 30 trades a day on crypto. So as soon as you lose your trade, right, if you're journaling it like you should be, look and see what you did wrong, right? See what the issue was and see why you did what you did, and then try to understand that. And then, you know, and then reevaluate and go from there. A lot of times, you know, I have a limit. You know, if I lose 3 trades in a row, well, I'm just going to fucking shut it down, right? If you lose 3 trades in a row, well, it's time, right? Just close it down. There'll be more trades at some other point. You know, it's not worth it. Yeah, nobody has 100% win rate. That's just bull cocky. Well, I mean, 3 a.m. has like that was just like for a day, right? Brad, there is, I think, 10,000 coins. Bukaki, yeah. How many trades a day would be a good average trading crypto? I think if you're patient and you wait for like five, you know, solid setups, you'll be good. My average crypto trading is, I think, like 3 or 4 a day. Sometimes I take like multiple trades on, like, so I'll take like the same trade on Bitcoin, like this trade right here. Let's see if we can catch a breakout real quick. So we'll get long right here. Kind of got a shit fill. Sorry guys, I'm looking at my other screen. Look to see if we can get above this A high. And then look to see if we can fill these singles. And then let some run. But so sometimes you'll trade like multiple things, right? So like you'll trade Bitcoin, you'll trade ETH, and you'll trade XRP all at the same time, right? So that would be, you know, considered kind of one trade. No break right there. Not great. Losses are part of the journey. With proper risk management, you can have consistent winning income with only winning 50% of your trades. Yeah, 65% win rate. That's probably my average over time is about 65%. And that's the thing I tell you guys a lot too, is like, you know, a lot of these traders will be like, oh, I have a 90% win rate or 85% win rate. You know, 85% win rate is doable. I know some momentum traders that trade just momentum, take really small scalps that have a high win rate like that, and that's important when you are scalping like that. We just gamble on probabilities and manage risk. That was a tough lesson I learned from making bad trade decisions. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like, you know, every trade that you take is a 50-50 trade. And that's one thing that you've got to wrap your mind around, is that every trade that you get in has 50% chance to win, 50% chance to lose. So it's not necessarily that you're going to, you know, that you're just going to win every single trade. Sorry, I'm looking at this oil.
No, you're good.
It's not necessarily that you're going to win every single trade. You just have to understand that, you know, if it doesn't go your way, you've got to cut your losers quick and let your winners win. Right? That's key. XRP. I trade XRP sometimes. So, oh, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. So let's talk about certain things. I like to do it with stocks mostly, but you can do it like I've done it with my XRP, right? So let's say I bought 100 XRP at 31 cents, right? And price goes up to 62 cents, right? And so I sell 50 of my XRP at 62 cents, and now I have 50 shares left, or 50 coins left, and they're free, right? So no matter if XRP goes to 1 million or if XRP goes to 0, these 50 coins are free, right? I like to do that with stocks a lot. But that's just something, you know, something to think about. Something to think about doing. Do you ever trade off value area high or value area low? It just depends, really. Like this would have been a decent value area low trade. It's easy to look at things in hindsight, right? And the value area high and value area low change as the session goes on. So to go long for BTC, we are waiting for that 33,760 to break. Take profit 34,6034. Yeah, so this 37. Yeah, and we're looking for this. Yep. That's what I'm looking for, Scott. And as we got up here and we saw that price didn't really break, right? You know, a finger on the trigger, you wanted to get in, but didn't break. And so, you know, you gotta put the safety back on, pull your finger back, and then relax for a second. Are these coins in the room with us now? Can you see these XRP coins? Yeah, if you go for like these high percentages, yeah, then you can just get wiped out big time. Oh, you're asking because it's trading around value area high now. Yeah, so if, I mean, you know, the value area high just happens to line up with all these stops right here. That's why I kind of like it. Like, so if we see it, you know, come back up, right? We're seeing it not be able to to get back down here. The point of control is down here, so this is where the position is at, right? And so what's happening right now is the market maker is, you know, letting price come down to see where they're going to find a buyer, right? And then once they find the buyer, they're going to push price back up. And if they, you know, if we get a lot of people coming back in to buy, right, they'll just keep letting price run up so they can sell it for more. And then, you know, the single prints are basically from this A high up to this top red line. Nah, XRP rug pulled and just as a failed project. Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah, and like I said, I got them at 31 cents, so they're, I mean, they're free at this point. I can let them sit there forever. Any other questions, guys? 9 o'clock, so the game's on. Oh shit. I'm gonna head out. I'll be on Discord with you guys, and you know, we'll be watching the game, and we'll see if we can find some decent trade setups, and we'll just go from there. So everyone have a good day. Make sure you are managing that risk. Can you refresh your screen? Your POC is different than mine. Yeah. Are you on Binance? POC is 33,444. It might be the tick size too. I have it on 20 ticks. Spain scored already? Holy fucking hell. You guys say that right, Andes? Fucking hell. Same tick size. Is it streaming online? I'm not sure. I'm watching on TV. That's what we should do. We should just put it on. I wonder if it is streaming online. Let's see. Oops. If it's on YouTube. Spain versus Switzerland. Oh, what the fuck? Lucky goal. Oh no, it's not really streaming online. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you guys are managing that risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I will see you guys in the Discord. Everyone have a good weekend. There won't be a stream today or tomorrow unless you know, 3 a.m. and C130 jump on to do like maybe a game stream or something. But I won't be on the stream. Most likely maybe a Sunday market night update. But I'm going to be preparing for the boot camp starting Monday. I'm going to be sending out, for those of you guys that have the boot camp coming up for that first session, be on the lookout for a PDF that I'm going to be sending all you guys. It's either going to be a PDF or like a Word document or something like that, something that's going to that you guys will be able to print out and try to get it out by Sunday. That way you guys will have it for Monday. Apex, you can ask these guys if they play Apex.
Oh, Apex. I mean, I've been wanting to play it, but it looks like it just looks like it takes so many bullets to kill somebody. You got like all these shields and stuff.
But yeah, you guys have a great day.